dose. While allowing emergency use, India should devise a vaccine policy suited to its needs. So even India, like UK, is allowing the emergency use of some types of vaccines against the COVID-19. And while allowing it, it's very good, and most of the people they encourage it. But what India should do along with it is that it should also create a vaccine policy towards it. With the UK regulatory granting an emergency use authorization for AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine on December 13, three vaccines have now been green-lighted for the use even before a full approval is granted. So, how this emergency use authorization has started is that actually UK has initially started it on December 13, and it has granted the emergency use of the AstraZeneca COVID vaccine. And similarly, as UK did it, even the three other vaccine even the three other vaccine organizations which have been building vaccines, which have been making vaccines for for the coronavirus, all those three vaccines have also got the approval to use because of the case because in this case of emergency, and the case of emergency is what we all know. In UK, a new type of virus has mutated. Unlike the mRNA vaccine platform of the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines, AstraZeneca was a weakened version of a common cold virus, adenovirus, that carries the genetic material of the spike protein to elect an immune response. Um, so we all know how the vaccine work, how vaccines work. Um, most of the vaccines send a weaker microbe of the particular disease, um, uh, and by doing so, this particular vaccine will be alerting the immune system um, when it gets into our body. So similarly, the AstraZeneca vaccine, in the case of COVID-19, it uses the microbe which causes the common cold, but a weakened version of it, obviously, and that virus is known as adenovirus, requiring only 2 degrees to 8 degrees Celsius for transport and storage. It can be administered in existing healthcare settings, allowing rapid deployment. So most of the vaccines to be stored or at least to be held, they need to be held in a temperature, very low temperatures. I mean like minus temperatures. But the vaccine which was developed by AstraZeneca, it can survive and it can be transported and it can be stored in only temperature from 2 degrees Celsius to 8 degrees Celsius. Together with the cost, which is much cheaper than the mRNA vaccines, this is particularly critical to help end the pandemic in global south. So we also have other types of vaccines like the mRNA type of vaccines, and those vaccines are really expensive when compared to the vaccine which was developed by the AstraZeneca. This is particularly critical to help end the pandemic in the global south. The emergency use approvals makes it easier for the similar ascent to vaccine tested and manufactured in India. Um, however, the European Medicines Agency on the same day, clearly said that additional scientific information on issues which are related to quality, safety, and efficacy of the vaccine is deemed necessary. So while these organizations which have created the vaccines have green lighted their vaccine, the medical agency it has claimed that okay, before we use your vaccines, we need we need the proof of additional scientific information of quality, safety, and reliability and efficacy. To give a similar note, while published results show only 62% efficacy when two full strengthened doses are administered 4 weeks apart, the UK regulator has relied on unpublished data showing efficacy increasing to 73% to 73% 22 days after the first dose when the second jab was delayed. Um, there's a small twist in there's a small gray area in what has happened. Um, you act UK actually allowed the emergency use of the vaccine because it thought that the efficacy of the vaccine was 73% as AstraZeneca has told it. But what AstraZeneca has told UK was anecdotal. It had no evidence. but its initial efficacy, which was 62%, it was not anecdotal, and it was based on facts. Included in the primary analysis received the second dose more than 9 weeks after the first. Most of the participants in the phase 3 trial in the UK included this primary analysis received the second dose more than 9 weeks after the first. And most of the patients who are currently going through the phase 3 of the virus of the COVID-19 disease in their body, um, they have taken the first, they have a who have taken the first dose after 9 weeks of taking the first dose. Now they are getting the second dose. Included in the primary analysis received the second dose more than 9 weeks after the first. Based on this information, the regulator has permitted the second dose to be administered 4 to 12 weeks after the first jab. So it is generally said that after the AstraZeneca vaccine is given against COVID-19, there should at least be a gap of 4 to 12 weeks, 4 to 12 weeks until the second one is given. The intent is to maximize the vaccine's benefits by stretching the time between two doses to allow more people to get vaccinated. The untested strategy to rapidly but partially protect more individuals who are at risk. So the process by global vaccination is going on right now is very efficient, and it is indeed good. So what they're doing is that they're not giving two doses like immediately, like in the time of 2 weeks or 1 week. Instead, what they're doing is that they're giving the vaccine to everyone rapidly but partially. So it is also partially protecting them from the virus. And what I mean by giving the vaccines partially is that they're not giving two vaccines at a time, as I told. First they'll give the first dose of the vaccine, and then after a period of 4 to 12 weeks, they'll be giving the second vaccine. In this way, they can give the vaccine to more people. With the virus running amok, the UK has revised its policy to delay the second dose of the Pfizer vaccine too, despite no trial data to support this. The second Pfizer jab is originally scheduled 3 weeks after the first. So in UK, the conditions right now are very severe. So what actually happened is that by now it should be giving the second dose of the vaccines to the people who have received the first dose of vaccine, but it has got no time, and the severity of this new mutated virus is increasing day by day. So what it has done is that without giving the second dose to the people who need it after taking the first dose, um, um, UK is giving the vaccines which is stored for the second dose of the people who have received the first dose. Now it is giving those vaccines to the people who did not have a vaccine until now. So basically, it is vaccinating new people. While the regulator says that there is 89% short-term protection from the 14th day after the first dose, Pfizer insists that the first dose is sustained beyond 21 days. 2 doses of both vaccines complete the course and prolong the duration of the protection. So while the regulator says there is 89% short-term protection after the 14th day after the first dose. So while the UK regulator is saying that after 14 days after taking the first dose of the vaccine, we will be protected 89%. But the company which developed it, or Pfizer, it insists that, means it is constantly saying that might be risky. Whereas if you give the second dose of the vaccine after 21 days after the person got the first dose of the vaccine, it's very formal in doing that. It's very good to follow this method than that. 2 doses of both vaccines complete the course and prolong the duration of protection. And obviously, yes, if both of the doses or the 2 doses are given, then the person will have a protection of a prolonged period. If the pandemic forced the scientists, companies, and regulators to quickly make available safe and efficacious COVID 19 vaccines, delaying the second dose to maximize the benefits is altogether a new strategy. And this strategy, which everyone globally is following right now, is a very good strategy and it's very efficient. The untested approach might probably be appropriate for the UK, which is facing the brunt of the virus as a desperate measure. And especially for UK, this strategy or this method could be superb. Since delaying the second dose appears to be increasing the efficacy, and as the UK has approved a delay in the second dosage, India should carry out the large trials to test this. So even India should implement this like UK. Thank you.